Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing well and staying safe while we're not in school right now. Really soon, I've got a very important job along with Ms. Thiessen. We've got to give a list to our counselors for which band every sixth grader, current sixth and seventh graders should go into for next year. So what we need to do is we need to have our end of the year auditions that we'd normally have this time of year anyways. Luckily for us, we had already planned to do our auditions this year remotely through Google Classroom or a Google form. And so we're really just going to do what we had planned on doing anyways, just slightly modified since we're not going to be in school. So the first thing you need to do is you can either go to the Blalack Band website, or if you're looking at this through an email, I also put the attachment on your email. But you need to find your audition information page that I gave you. And on that page, it has a lot of important information that you need to look at. The first thing is it has instructions for what you need to play, depending on which band you're going to try out for. Okay, so at Blalack, we have 3 bands next year. The honors band is our top band. And that's mostly made up of 8th graders with a few 7th graders, mostly because the 8th graders have been playing for an extra year longer than the 7th graders. And so they've got a little bit more experience. But the top band is, to be in the top band, if you are a flute player, you will need to play the alternate octaves, the region scales 1, 2, and 4. If you're a clarinet player, you're going to play region scales 1, 4, and 6. And if you're any other woodwind player that I haven't mentioned yet, you're going to play scale 3, 4, and 8. Okay? Unless you're a tenor sax, then you're going to play scale 2, 4, and 6. If you're a brass player, you're going to play region scale 1, 2, and 7. Okay, you're just going to record yourself playing those and then submit it. If you're going to try out for the symphonic band, which is our second band, and this band is mostly made up of 7th graders with some 8th graders. This is where most of our best 6th grade beginners will end up next year. It's the next sequence in your movement through the Blalack Band program. Most of the students that were in select band, this is the band that you'll end up in next year, unless you make the top band probably. So if you are a woodwind player that's going to try out for the symphonic band, you will need to play alternate octaves scale 1, 2, and 6. And all saxophones will play scales 1 and 6 on your 1 octave scales page and scale 4 on your alternate octave scales page. And then all the brass players, you're just going to play scale 1, 6, and 7 on your 1 octave scales page. And then finally, our concert band is our third band. And the concert band is made up of 7th graders and 8th graders. And to try out for this concert band, you're going to play scales 1, 2, and 5. Okay, now the one group that's a little bit different is the percussion, and Mr. Carter's going to give the percussion details about their auditions separately, so they can look to him for their auditions. Okay, so those are our different bands. If you want to find out more information about our different bands and the requirements for them and what they kind of do throughout the year, if you go to our website and you look in the About Us section and find where it says ensembles, which is a fancy word for the different bands we have, you can read more about what each band does and the requirements for those bands and what they do throughout the year and how they work for our students. The most important thing is we want to make sure that you are in a band where it's not too difficult the music for you, but the music is also not too easy for you. And the students in those bands really want to do the same kind of things you do. So if you're a practicer that likes to practice all the time and you're really, really self-motivated, then you probably want to try out for the honors band. But if you're more of, I just like to play my instrument and I like to be in band and be with my friends, then maybe the concert band is where you want to be. Maybe you're a 7th grade or gonna be a 7th grader next year and you're gonna be starting athletics and do a whole bunch of sports next year, and maybe you're adding in some pre-AP classes that you didn't do the year before. And so maybe the symphonic band is where you need to be, so that you have some harder music that you have to play, but also you don't have all those requirements that the honors band does in the fall while you're getting used to adding in athletics and all the extra things that athletics has along with it. Most importantly, remember, Ms. Thiessen and I are going to put you in the band where we think you are going to grow the most. I don't want to put you in a band where you're not going to be successful and won't be back for another year after this year. Okay. All right. So you need to decide which band you're going to try out for. Okay. Then you're going to practice those scales for that band. And you want to practice them for like a week or two. Make sure you focus on no wrong notes. Make sure that you have a great sound the entire time you're playing it. No bad sounds, no fuzzy sounds. And then you might want to work on speeding those scales up. Okay? Then, once you think you're ready, you're going to record yourself playing all 3 scales in one long recording. Okay? You can do as many recordings as you want to because you're only going to turn in one recording to me. Okay? You're going to turn in your recordings through a Google form that looks like this. And on that Google form, you're going to put in all your information and then just submit your video to me. And then I'll listen to it, or Miss Teese will listen to it, and we'll figure out which band you need to go in. Okay? All video recordings must be submitted by Tuesday, May 5th. I have to have recordings in by Tuesday, May 5th because I have a deadline for when I have to get my lists into the counselors. So you have to make sure that you have your videos in by May 5th. Okay, we will post results for which band everybody made on the last day of school, which is May 28th. Okay, now a few questions. What if you don't have an instrument with you? What should you do? Well, I don't have a way to get into the band hall right now, but sporadically they let us into the school to get supplies. And if you need your instrument, you need to email me so that I can put you on the list. So the next time I'm allowed into the school, I can get an instrument to you. Can you upload your instrument or your audition early? Yes. Okay. You can upload your audition anytime between now and May 5th. Okay. But don't feel like you have to get it in first. Take your time, make sure your scales are in good shape, and turn in your best recording. All I care about is you get your audition into me by Tuesday, May 5th. Okay. So what if you don't make the band that you want to make? Well, let's say that you try out for the honors band and a whole bunch of other people in your section try out for honors band. Let's say I'm only going to take the top 6 of your instrument and you have the 8th best results. Well, that doesn't mean you don't get to be in any band. Instead, what I would do is I would take the top 6 people who wanted to be in honors band, and then the next 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 would go into the symphonic band from there. Okay? The most important thing is everybody will be in a band next year that wants to be in band, okay? And I promise you, I will put you in the spot where I think you're going to be the most successful, okay? So all I really want to know is what is the highest band you would like to be in? That way, in case you only want to be in symphonic band, but you have an amazing audition, I don't put you in the honors band and then you're not successful because that you think that's more than you can do right now. Okay, so that's why we do it that way. Okay, a very important question is, what if I don't turn in an audition at all? If you do not turn in an audition at all, you will not be eligible to be in the honors band next year. You will not be in the top band. Instead, Ms. Thiessen and I will decide whether you should be in concert band or symphonic band based on how we heard you play before we went on coronavirus break. Okay, so make sure you turn in a recording so that we can have the best view of how well you play. Okay, and finally, how should you get your recording done? Make sure that I can see you in your recording. Make sure you're in a nice, quiet place. Make sure you listen to your recording before you turn it in to me. And then use the Google form that I'm going to put on the email and then put on the audition's website to turn in your recording to me. Okay, and again, make sure your recording is turned in to me by Tuesday, May 5th. If you have any questions in the meantime, you can send me or Ms. Thiessen an email. My email address is marshallk@cfbisd.edu, or you can email Ms. Thiessen as well. You can also find information about this on our website, and then we'll post stuff on social media too, just to send you reminders. We'll also have question and answer time during our office hours each week between now and May 5th, where you can get on there on Zoom and we can answer questions. If you want to play your scales for us so we can tell you if you're playing them correctly, that's fine as well. Okay? We look forward to seeing your auditions and hope everyone is staying safe and not getting sick. Hopefully we'll see you real soon. Bye, everybody.